Hi guys, Darren from Venom Fluid Art here. Today I thought we'd have a bit of a play with cell activator. Now, in these ones, I'm not going to use Floetrol. Over here in Australia, we get Floetrol pretty cheap. The stuff works amazing. Fantastic for cells, cool lacing, all that sort of stuff. But for all you guys in overseas countries that can't get your hands on it, I thought I'd share an alternative with you. Now, I shared this in a previous group that I was in, and I thought I'd share it with you all. So what we're going to do is, I've got some Amsterdam, that's lamp black, titanium white. We've also got Acrylic, carbon black and titanium white. So I figured we'd make up some cell activator, and what we'll do is see how it goes. Okay, let's start mixing. So what we're going to do is grab a little scoop like this, which is 1 teaspoon, little plastic container to mix it up in. Got a couple of little paddle pop sticks to mix them. And this is just a spray bottle with nothing in it apart from water. So what we're going to do is, I like to put the water in first. So there's 1 teaspoon of water. So we'll go 1 of those. Now, Acrylic paint is an absolute nightmare to mix into anything. It's supposed to be a soft body, but it works more like a hard body. It's like uber thick, like crazy thick. So what we're going to do is 1 teaspoon of that. Scoop that in. Okay. Now we'll start trying to mix that in. Amsterdam mixes in really, really well. Acrylic sucks. Like, it's a nightmare. Takes forever. That's why we're starting with this one first. So you'll notice it goes all clumpy. Where's my arm around this thing? See how it lumps up? Turns like cottage cheese when you first start mixing it. So it does take a lot of mixing. So we're just going to keep mixing. Eventually it'll turn to like a creamy paste. You only need 1 teaspoon to start with. It just makes it easier to mix in. Otherwise, you'll be on all day. So we keep mixing that up. Alright, so now it starts getting into a more creamy type paste. Alright, so now we're going to add more water. So, another teaspoon. And do it again. And as soon as you start mixing, you'll see it go like a cottage cheese type consistency again. So you've got to keep mixing it until all the lumps are out and it goes creamy again. Definitely a lot easier the second time. Another teaspoon. Keep mixing, 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 mixing. Now I've found by using the water in it, roughly 4 to 1 will let you produce cells. So keep mixing that in. So we've got 3 to 1 in there, which is 3 parts water, 1 part paint. Okay, mix that in a bit more. See, it's still thick and goopy. So what we'll do is grab 1 more scoop of water. So now we are at 4 to 1. I'm going to mix that in. I'll do all of this one in real time so you can see exactly how long it takes to mix a Atelier paint into water. It's exactly the same as when you mix it in with Floetrol. It really is a pain in the butt to mix in. Alright, so mixing, 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 mixing. That's looking a lot better. Don't forget to scrape the sides, scrape the bottom. Flicking it all over my fingers. Nice job. Okay. Alright, so that's a lot watery now. It doesn't have the spring back like Floetrol does, but it still works. Okay, so what we'll do is put that to one side. I'll grab the Amsterdam and I'll show you how easy that one mixes in comparison. Okay, wipe the spoon off. Okie dokie. So we're going to start with 1 teaspoon of water, which is about 3 squirts on one of these pump packs. Okay, put the lid back on that so I don't lose it. Okay, Titanium White by Amsterdam. Same thing. Teaspoon of it. Near enough's close enough. You'll notice that one is a lot more soft and runny compared to the Atelier. Now I've done this one with Matisse. That also works really well. Oop, wiping out the camera. So your Matisse flow, that's exactly the same. Mix it up the same, it works. Alright, so we're going to mix that in. You really need to get all the lumps and bumps out of it. So there is a fair bit of mixing involved. But you're not buying Australian Floetrol to do it, so it works out pretty good. So that one there, we've got a lot of the lumpy bits out of it already. Just pat them up against the side, it helps break them up a bit. And you'll notice that one there is already a lot thinner. So what we'll do is add another scoop of water into that. So that's 2 to 1. 2 parts water, 1 part paint. You'll notice that one's a lot thinner. When you mix it. So we'll leave that one at 2 to 1. Utilia, that's at 4 to 1. Just make sure all your lumpy bits are out of it. That looks really thin, but it's going to give you cells. That's very much like milk, like it's that thin. Alright, what I'll do is mix up the black, which is done exactly the same way. So I won't bore you with that. I'll mix those up and show you the consistencies. Okay, now this one here is the Amsterdam Lamp Black, which is at 3 to 1. And this one here is the Utilia Carbon Black at just over 4 to 1. Okay, so don't know whether you can see that. But it's nice and thin. Okay. So that's the Utilia. And this one is the Amsterdam. Really thin, quite watery. But it's going to give you cells. So what I'll do now is we'll swap camera stands. We'll go over to the spinner box and we'll do a couple of swipes to start with and show you the difference. Right, let's play. So I'll throw some pillow paint down, which is British Paints, Low Sheen, which is just a house paint. Alright, so put some of that down. Pick out some random colours. What else have we got? Fluoro pink. And we'll use Southern Ocean blue. That'll do it, I think. Now, what I'm going to do is grab the cell activator that we made, which is the Amsterdam 3:1 and the Atelier at 4:1. Now you might have to mess around with ratios. Just give it a go. Depends on what your temperature is over where you are at the time. If it's freezing cold, your paint's going to be thicker. If it's really hot, your paint's going to be thinner. So just mess around with ratios. That gives you a pretty good start anyway with what I've given you. So what we'll do is we'll start with the Amsterdam, which was that one, 3:1. What I might do is do half and half to save time. So we'll add some white onto my little swipe tool here, like that. We'll swipe half of it. And the other half I will do in the Amsterdam black. So that's the Amsterdam black, 3:1 with water. Where's a little spatula? Doesn't matter, I'll just dip it in. It's all good. Okay, so there's the black. We'll see how that pops up. Okay. So there's the black, there's the white. Okay, so what I can do is spin that out. Go for the center of the spinner. Okay, so let me spin that out. There are your cells for the black. And that's your white. So they were quite thin, the 3:1s on the Amsterdam. You could drop that back to 2:1 if you wanted. But it's just to show you this stuff works for what we're doing. I'll actually show you one I did yesterday later on, so you can see how it dried. So we'll put this one to one side. Okie dokie. To save time, I've put the colours down already. All the same colours as what we used in the last one. The only difference is now we're going with the Atelier. That's mixed with water. Now, Atelier reacts a lot slower than what Amsterdam does, but it still works. It just takes longer to pop up. Okay, so we'll put the Atelier down on my little spatula. So, Atelier, 4:1. We'll swipe half like we did the other one. And while we're waiting for that to do its thing, we'll flick over to the other side and do the black. Okay, so we've got the Atelier black 4:1. Okay, put the lid back on so I don't spill it everywhere, because I tend to do that. Okay, so now we've got the black on. So you'll notice the Atelier is really slow to react compared to what the Amsterdam is. But it still gives you cells. You just got to wait a little bit longer, that's all. You can speed it up a little bit by giving it a blow with the straw. Or, if you're more patient than what I am, which is not very patient at all, you can just leave it for a couple of minutes and see what it does. So as you can see, they're all coming up now. So we don't have magic Floetrol in that. It is just basically paint and water. And I didn't even make you wait till the end of the video to tell you what the secret ingredient was. How good's that? So I did a swipe yesterday with just the Atelier White as a cell activator. And that's how it dried. So, dried perfect, didn't crack, didn't warp, split or fade. So, it definitely works. If you're worried about having too much water in your cell activator, you can add a little bit of US Floetrol if you've got it handy. You can mix 1 part of that in, 2 parts water, 1 part paint, and then you don't have to worry about there being too much water in your paint. And it does work, so. Alright, give that one a spin. I wrecked that one. See? I can't help myself. I've always got to run a skewer through something. Okay, spin her out. Okie dokie. There you go. Some pretty cool results for just paint and water. So, why not give it a go? Have a bit of a play and see what you think. I figured before I left it there, we'd do a balloon with it. Why not, eh? So what's this one? Amsterdam 3:1. So put some of that on. Notice it starts to halo up pretty quick. Gets like little feathered edges around the edge. Just use a little mini blower. phone's well and truly in the way, but it's all good. We can see it works. Okay, let that activator do its thing for a minute. I'll wipe my hands. Okay, so and we have cells. Just paint and water for your cell activator. Give that one a spin. Scrape some of that off around the edges. Give it another little spin. Sorry, the ring light's in the way, but it's a dark and dreary day here in Australia yet again. Winter is here, so what do you do? Okay, pop that up, give her a closer look. And that, my friends, is the result. So yeah, feel free to give that a go. Like I said, you might have to mess around with consistencies and things like that, depending on what brand of paint you're using for your cell activator. But you will get results if you persevere with it. And it dries fine. Like I showed you in the last one, it's all good. It doesn't crack, doesn't fade, doesn't do anything else. It helps to use decent quality paints to start with, like your Goldens, Amsterdams, your Ateliers. They're all really good quality paints, so that really makes a big difference. Yeah, they're more expensive, but you use a whole heap less of it, and you save money in the long run, really. Alright guys, if that was a help to you, click like, share and subscribe. Ring the notification bell, that way you get to see all my videos as I release them. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Alright guys, have fun, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.